The Mercedes-Benz GLC class is a fusion of luxury, technology, and performance. And for 2025, there are 4 models to suit your needs. There's the well-rounded GLC 300, the eco-friendly GLC 350e, the sporty GLC 43 AMG, and the exhilarating, intoxicating, mind-blowing GLC 63 SE Performance AMG. So why don't we start the video off with this one? Why is this so intoxicating and exhilarating? Well, it's not because of the V8. Unfortunately, that's gone. In its place is a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder which produces almost 470 horsepower and over 400 pound-feet of torque. That's about the same power but less torque as the old V8 used to produce, the non-S version. And this power is coming from a 4-cylinder engine with a 4-year, 80,000 kilometer warranty. This handcrafted 4-cylinder engine uses Formula 1 technology to achieve such immense power figures. The turbocharger has an electric motor positioned on the drive shaft which helps maintain boost pressure and improve engine response from idle to high RPMs, even if the driver lifts off the throttle pedal. But there's more. Underneath the trunk floor is a 4.9 kilowatt-hour battery pack. That battery provides energy to a rear electric motor, which produces 94 horsepower. But for 10 seconds at a time, it can produce twice as much power. Paired with the 2-liter engine, total output is 671 horsepower and 752 pound-feet of torque. To put those numbers into perspective, that is more power than the bi-turbo V8 of the GLE 63S AMG and a crossover SUV that weighs about 200 kilograms less. As a result, this AMG GLC 63 SE Performance can complete the 0 to 100 km/h run in about 3.5 seconds. The acceleration is ferocious. If you've ever wondered what it's like to be shot out of a cannon, sit in this car when it sets off from a stop with launch control activated. Furthermore, the electric motor on the back axle and the turbocharger make turbo lag a thing of the past. The engine response is electric, for a lack of a better word. But this car isn't just about outright power. You can almost call it economical. Thanks to its hybrid battery, it can be driven for up to 14 kilometers on just electricity. I know, that's not a whole lot, but in a car that develops 671 horsepower, it does make fuel stops just a little bit less painful. The GLC 63 receives the 4MATIC Plus all-wheel drive system, which can send up to 100% of the engine's torque to the rear wheels for some power sliding fun. Or it can optimize the torque distribution for maximum grip with the aid of the rear-mounted electric motor. Helping stop the GLC 63 are 390mm front discs that provide the bulk of the stopping force. However, if you're the type that wants to take their crossover SUV to a track day, the GLC 63 is available with carbon ceramic discs. On the inside, the GLC 63 AMG can be equipped with hip-hubbing AMG Performance front seats, sporty red seat belts, carbon fiber trim, an AMG Performance steering wheel, and an AMG drive unit which allows the driver to quickly change key parameters of the crossover, such as the drive modes from the right knob and the exhaust tone from the left knob, among other parameters. The GLC 63 AMG SE Performance is the ultimate version of the GLC, but it also demands an ultimate price. It starts at $109,500, and if you want it equipped with all of the bells and whistles, it'll be closer to $150,000. But if the GLC 63 SE Performance is too complicated for you with its plug-in hybrid powertrain and clever 4MATIC Plus all-wheel drive system, Mercedes-Benz offers a slightly tamer version in the form of the GLC 43 AMG. This version of the GLC uses the same 2-liter turbo engine with the same Formula One technology. But because it doesn't have a hybrid battery in the trunk nor an electric motor powering the back wheels, it obviously doesn't produce as much power as the 63 AMG. However, the engine is still responsive. It'll accelerate from a stop to 100 kilometers an hour in less than 5 seconds. And because it's lighter, it's a little bit more playful through the corners. The GLC 43 AMG does not receive the 4MATIC Plus system of the GLC 63, but the standard 4MATIC all-wheel drive system still sends most of its power to the back wheels for better control. Coupled with the AMG Sport suspension and AMG ride control, the GLC 43 exhibits sharp and responsive steering, making it ideal for a drive on your favorite mountain or canyon road. On the inside, the GLC 43 can be equipped in pretty much the same way as the GLC 63 AMG. So you can get it with the same AMG Performance front seats, the same AMG Performance steering wheel, carbon fiber trim, and red seat belts. Where you'll really notice a difference between this and the more powerful 63 AMG is in the trunk. Because this one doesn't have a hybrid battery, that means that the floor is lower down, so you do get more cargo capacity behind the rear seats and also when the rear seats are folded. It's also the same story with the GLC 350e and the GLC 300. Less cargo space in the plug-in hybrid version versus the non-plug-in hybrid version. More on those two in just a little bit. As you'd expect, you'll also be paying less for the GLC 43 AMG. It starts at $81,200 with a fully loaded one costing at around $108,000. So that's a look at the sporty versions of the new Mercedes-Benz GLC. Now let's take a look at the more sensible version, starting with the return of the plug-in hybrid, the GLC 350e. It's been a few years since a plug-in hybrid variant of the GLC was available in the Canadian market. For 2025, it makes its return with an impressive 87 kilometers of electric-only driving range. With that much range, you can pretty much do your commute to and from work on a single charge. But should your commute be longer than that, the GLC 350e's battery can be recharged in under 30 minutes from a level 3 DC charger if you option it with the DC charging port. From a standard level 2 charger, it'll take about 3 hours to fully recharge the battery. Of course, this is not a battery electric vehicle, so if you can't find a charging station, the 2-liter turbocharged engine will keep the GLC going. Combined with the electric motor, it has a total output of 313 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. This power is readily available in the sport mode. In hybrid mode, the computer decides what is the best use of the electrical power and gasoline power. You can also select electric-only mode for gasoline-free driving, or you can choose to hold the battery charge for later use. The interior of the GLC 350e is similar to the other two versions of the GLC that we've currently looked at, but with a bit less emphasis on sporty styling. It doesn't have the AMG Performance seats, it has a different steering wheel, and it doesn't have the carbon fiber trim. Instead, you get comfortable heated and optional ventilated front seats. You have different choices of interior trim, including wood, and you can option it with soft Napa leather upholstery. Further differentiating itself from the AMG versions of the GLC, the 350e starts just shy of $65,000. Add on all the available options to it, and it'll be an $87,000 plug-in hybrid crossover SUV. And finally, we arrive at the bread and butter of the GLC lineup, the 300. You can get behind the wheel of this car for less than $60,000. So what do you get for your money? Well, you get a more powerful version of the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine as in the GLC 350e, but without the big and heavy battery in the trunk. Not only does this improve cargo capacity by 150 liters with the rear seats up and down, but it also reduces the weight, making this GLC 300 faster to 100 kilometers an hour by half a second. This engine also receives a mild hybrid system, but it doesn't operate the same way as in the 350e, nor does it operate in the same way as what Toyota uses in their vehicles, for example. This system provides brief periods of extra power, helps improve engine responsiveness, and of course, helps improve the fuel economy. When you switch the car to eco mode, the engine will shut off every time you lift your foot off the throttle pedal. This allows the GLC 300 to travel a little bit further without losing any momentum from engine braking. Then, when you press the throttle pedal again, the engine immediately starts up.
This is a very smooth and unobtrusive system.
Inside the GLC 300, you still get an 11.9-inch touchscreen which seamlessly blends into the center console. This screen displays Mercedes' third-generation MBUX infotainment system, which has simplified icons, faster response times, and an intelligent voice control system that will learn and adapt to your habits.
There are also standard heated front seats, a heated steering wheel, dual-zone automatic climate controls, 64-color ambient lighting, and hands-free power liftgate, among other convenience features. All this for less than $60,000. But should you want more convenience and luxury features, the GLC 300 can be equipped in the same manner as the GLC 350e. Some of these features include ventilated front seats, Napa leather upholstery, Burmeister surround sound system, wireless phone charging pad, among many others.
Of course, all of these extra features will end up increasing the price of the GLC 300. A fully loaded one can end up costing almost $82,000. And that's a look at the new Mercedes-Benz GLC class. Which one best suits your needs? Let us know in the comments. And in the meantime, if you would like to know more about any of these models or test drive them yourself, please contact our knowledgeable product specialists at OpenRoad Mercedes-Benz Surrey. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.